Welcome to Howard's Opinion, the only podcast where you get the unfiltered truth about the world of sports. I'm your host, Howard, and we're glad you're joining us today. We've got a jam-packed show for you, filled with analysis, debate, and expert opinions on all the latest developments in the sports universe. Let's dive right into it, shall we? The MLB postseason is just around the corner, and teams are scrambling to secure their spots in the playoffs. The Detroit Tigers have been one of the most intriguing stories of the season, and they've just clinched a postseason berth with a thrilling 2-1 win over the Red Sox at Fenway Park. Now, this is a team that's had its fair share of ups and downs throughout the year, but they've got one major ace up their sleeve, Tarik Skubal, the reigning American League Cy Young winner. By clinching their postseason spot early, the Tigers have given themselves the luxury of lining up Skubal to start Game 1 of their wildcard series on Tuesday. And let me tell you, that's a daunting prospect for any opposing team. Skubal has been dominant all season, and he's shown no signs of slowing down. In fact, he's been taking care of himself so well that his average velocity is actually up 1.5 miles from his last start. That's impressive, folks. The Tigers are clearly banking on Skubal to lead them deep into the postseason, and with good reason. But here's the thing, the Tigers still have a chance to win the AL Central title, which would give them home field advantage in the wildcard series. Do they go all out to try and win the division, or do they stick with their plan and save Skubal for the postseason? It's a tough decision, but one that could make all the difference in their quest for a championship. We'll be discussing this topic in more depth later in the show, along with other breaking news from around the sports world. But for now, let's just say that the Tigers are looking like a formidable force heading into the postseason. And with Skubal at the helm, they've got a real shot at making some noise in October. We'll be right back with more fascinating sports news on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion. We're diving into the world of baseball as we explore the latest developments in the league. As the regular season comes to a close, teams are gearing up for the postseason, and the Los Angeles Dodgers are no exception. The Dodgers had been using their final series to work out some key roster questions ahead of the NL Wildcard Series, with their spot as the National League's number one seed locked in. They've been resting their regulars and taking a close look at their lineup to decide who will make the cut for the postseason. One of the big questions on everyone's mind is whether Tyler Glasnow will be available out of the bullpen. The team gave him a short outing on Saturday, and it seems like he might be an option for relief work in the wildcard series. This would be a first for Glasnow since his time with the Pirates back in 2018. Another player whose status is up in the air is Will Smith. The catcher has been dealing with a hairline fracture in his right hand, but he's made some progress, hitting foam balls in the cage on Saturday. The Dodgers might opt to carry 3 catchers if they think Smith will be ready to go soon, but time is of the essence. The team is also keeping an eye on Tommy Edman and Max Muncy, who are both dealing with lingering injuries. Edman returned to the lineup as the DH on Saturday, while Muncy hasn't played since September. Both players are expected to be ready for the postseason, but their status will likely be a topic of discussion in the coming days. As the Dodgers prepare to face off against either the Reds or the Mets in the wildcard series, these roster decisions will be crucial in determining their chances of success. We'll be keeping a close eye on how things unfold and bringing you all the latest updates right here on Howard's Opinion. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion. We're closing out today's show with a thrilling discussion on the upcoming NFL matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As we dive into the world of football, it's essential to consider the various storylines that will shape this highly anticipated game. First off, let's talk about the Jalen Hurts-Todd Bowles dynamic. Bowles has a history of being particularly effective against Hurts-led offenses, and it'll be fascinating to see how the quarterback responds to the Buccaneers' defense. Will he be able to outsmart them and lead his team to victory? Another critical aspect to watch is Saquon Barkley's performance. The running back has yet to have a signature game this season, and with the Buccaneers boasting an impressive defensive record, It won't be an easy task for him to reach triple digits. Can he break through and make a statement on Sunday? We also need to keep an eye on the Eagles' pass rushers, as they'll be without Nolan Smith. This provides an opportunity for players like Jalix Hunt, Zadarius Smith, and Joshua Uche to step up and make their mark. In addition, the cornerback position will be one to watch, with Keely Ringo potentially snagging the number 2 spot and facing off against a Buccaneers team missing Mike Evans but welcoming back Chris Godwin. Baker Mayfield is another player to keep an eye on, as he's been making waves with his impressive performances and could be a dark horse for MVP. And let's not forget about the Eagles' explosive offense, which will look to sustain its momentum from the previous game and take advantage of matchups against the Buccaneers' cornerbacks. Lastly, the weather conditions in Tampa will undoubtedly play a role in the game, with extreme heat and humidity expected on Sunday. Will this affect the players' performance, or can they adapt and overcome? As we wrap up today's discussion, it's clear that there are numerous storylines to watch in this upcoming matchup. From Jalen Hurts' response to Todd Bowles' defense to Saquon Barkley's quest for a signature game, every aspect of this game will be crucial in determining the outcome. That's all for today's Howard's Opinion. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, these are some of my humble thoughts.